Absolutely do not buy these 5 things during Ghostmon. If anyone accidentally brings them home, it's like opening the door and inviting misfortune in, losing money, draining luck, even bringing disaster onto yourself. The 7th lunar month, known in Vietnamese tradition as Ghost Month, is believed to be the time when spirits are released back into the living world. That's why elders have always warned their children and grandchildren to be cautious, and especially to avoid buying certain taboo items in order to protect the peace of the family. Stay with this video, and you'll learn exactly which 5 things you must never buy during Ghost Month. You'll also discover ways to counter bad luck, safeguard blessings, and plant good seeds so life flows more smoothly. And if you find this message helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Help spread these positive teachings further. Why are there so many taboos in Ghost Month? The 7th lunar month, also called Ghost Month, has long been etched into Vietnamese culture as a unique and sensitive time of year. It's not only Vu Lan, the Buddhist festival of filial piety, where children honor and repay the kindness of their parents, but it's also believed to be the month when the gates of the underworld open, releasing wandering spirits and restless ghosts back among the living. Because of this, the elders practiced many taboos, especially avoiding certain purchases that could carry negative energy into the home. According to folk belief, during this period the boundary between the spirit world and the human world is thinner than ever. People are more easily affected by unstable energies. If the heart isn't steady and the mind isn't clear, it's easier to become disturbed and fall into misfortune. That's why our grandparents often advised, in the 7th month, avoid going out late, avoid starting big projects, avoid bringing unfamiliar objects into the house. Some dismiss this as mere superstition, but when viewed through the light of Buddhist teaching, it makes sense. Everything follows the law of cause and effect. When we act carelessly, without mindfulness, we plant bad causes, and bad results will eventually come. The Buddha said, "The mind creates all things." If our mind is restless, full of craving, and we bring home things that are not appropriate or timely, it's like opening the door and inviting misfortune inside. A true story often told in northern Vietnam. In a small village, one family bought a second-hand ancestral altar from another household, right during Ghost Month. Not long after, strange things started happening. The children fell ill, their work and business declined, the couple quarreled constantly. When they finally invited a monk to come and look, he revealed that the old altar had been discarded, carrying unsettled spiritual energy that hadn't been released. Bringing it home during Ghost Month, a time especially sensitive to negative forces, had caused the family to suffer. Only after sincerely repenting and asking the monk to perform a ceremony of dedication did the family begin to regain peace. This story reminds us, Ghost Month isn't just old superstition. It's a cultural and spiritual reminder to be cautious, even with small decisions. Buying one ordinary item, bringing home one random object, can unsettle the entire household if done without wisdom. As the saying goes, respect the sacred, avoid the taboo. These words aren't meant to scare us, but to guide us toward living carefully, keeping a pure mind, and avoiding reckless greed or impatience. From the Buddhist perspective, Ghost Month is also the season of Vu Lan, the season of filial piety. It's the time for us to focus on good deeds, releasing captive animals, chanting sutras, making offerings, and dedicating merit to our parents and ancestors. Instead of chasing after material things and shopping during this month, we're encouraged to nurture gratitude, sow seeds of kindness, and live with compassion. As the Buddha said in the Ulambana Sutra, one who practices filial piety will gain immeasurable blessings. And yet, many people, out of ignorance, still break these taboos. especially by purchasing the very items that should never be brought home during Ghost Month. Doing so is like opening your own door to restless spirits, welcoming in instability, and adding unnecessary suffering to your life. Have you ever heard your grandparents or parents warn you? During Ghost Month, don't buy secondhand clothes, don't bring mirrors home, and don't carry unfamiliar objects into the house. Have you ever seen a family suffer misfortune simply because they ignored these warnings? Share your story so others can learn and protect their own peace. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. May every being this month be safe. May every family act with care, plant good seeds, and enjoy blessings of peace and happiness. Now, let's move on to the very first item you must never buy during Ghost Month, because it can quietly carry misfortune into your home and disturb the harmony of your family. The first forbidden purchase in Ghost Month: old clothes or second-hand garments. In folk tradition, people often repeat this advice. In Ghost Month, never buy or wear second-hand clothing. At first, it might sound like superstition, but when we look more deeply, through the lens of Buddhism and karma, we see it's a powerful reminder. Clothing is more than just fabric. It's something that clings close to the body, protecting, warming, and expressing who we are. Over time, it soaks up the breath, energy, and life experiences of its wearer, their joys, their sorrows, their anger, their love. That's why, in Vietnamese custom, the clothes of someone who has passed away are usually burned or given away, rarely worn again by family members. People believe the spirit imprint of the deceased still lingers in those garments. And during Ghost Month, when wandering spirits are believed to walk the earth, this connection between objects and spirits becomes even more sensitive. Buying old clothes, especially when you don't know their origin, can unintentionally carry unsettled energy into your life. Elders believe that some wandering spirits, searching for something familiar, may cling to such items, bringing misfortune, loss of wealth, or even illness into the household. There's a real story from Nam Dinh province. A young woman, tempted by cheap prices, bought a batch of second-hand clothes to resell, right in the middle of Ghost Month. Within just 2 weeks, she was plagued by nightmares. Night after night, she dreamed of a figure standing at the foot of her bed, wearing the very same clothes she had hung in her room. Her business suffered, customers returned items, and she was losing money fast. Terrified, she went to the temple for help. The monk explained, "Clothing carries the energy of its former owner. During this month, spirits are more sensitive and easily drawn to such items, and by storing them in your bedroom, you made your own mind more vulnerable." Following his advice, she donated the clothes to charity, dedicated merit through prayers, and slowly her peace returned. From the perspective of karma, this makes sense. When we chase cheap bargains, buying old things of unclear origin, we plant a seed of restlessness. That unwholesome cause can bear fruit as anxiety, loss, or illness. On the other hand, if we keep a wholesome mind, shop mindfully, or better yet, use that money to release animals, make offerings, or give to charity, we create good seeds that bring safety and peace to the whole family. As the Buddha taught in the Dhammapada, mind precedes all things. Mind is their chief. Mind makes them. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like a shadow that never leaves. Clothes are things we touch every single day. Choosing them carefully, keeping them clean and pure, is also a way of cultivating good conditions for health and peace. Instead of buying old clothes during Ghost Month, the elders advised, keep what you already have, wash it clean, and live simply. If you must buy something, wait until the next month, or at least choose new items with a clear origin. Most importantly, remember, this is also Vulan, the season of filial piety. Rather than spending money on second-hand clothes of uncertain history, why not use that money to buy fresh fruit, light incense, and make an offering to the Buddha and your parents? That brings blessings not only for you, but for your whole household. Have you ever known someone who bought second-hand clothes in Ghost Month and then fell into misfortune? If so, share the story so others can learn and avoid unnecessary harm. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May all beings be safe and blessed in this season of filial devotion. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll reveal the second forbidden purchase in Ghost Month. It might look harmless at first, but it can easily invite misfortune into your home. The second forbidden purchase in Ghost Month: sharp objects like knives, scissors, or swords. In Vietnamese tradition, elders often warned, during Ghost Month, never buy knives, never buy scissors, never buy tools of violence. At first it might sound strange or even unreasonable, but when you dig into the spiritual meaning, the cultural roots, and Buddhist teachings, you see this advice carries real weight. Knives, scissors, swords, any sharp object carry what's called killing energy. In feng shui, they symbolize separation, division, and cutting ties. If you bring them home during the 7th lunar month, consider the time when the gates of the underworld open and wandering spirits roam, you might unintentionally stir up negative energy. The result: family conflicts, relationships breaking apart, or obstacles at work. There's a true story from central Vietnam. One family was renovating their home and bought a brand new set of knives, right in Ghost Month. From that day on, the husband and wife argued constantly. Their kids kept getting small cuts and injuries. The elderly neighbor shook her head and said, "It must be because you bought knives during Ghost Month. Be careful." And sure enough, after the family donated the knives to a temple and pledged to do charitable acts, the tension at home slowly lifted and peace returned. From the standpoint of karma, buying sharp objects this month is like planting seeds of unrest. These items symbolize cutting and conflict, when this is the very month that calls for gentleness, harmony, gratitude, and prayers for wandering souls. Bringing home objects that radiate aggression can stir up anger in your own heart and discord in your household. The Buddha taught, hatred is never ended by hatred. Only love can conquer hatred. Keeping items in the home that trigger aggression is like feeding anger, planting seeds of negativity that will grow. Beyond spiritual meaning, sharp tools are also a practical danger. Many people believe that during this month the human spirit is unsettled, more prone to restlessness, insomnia, or anxiety. If your home is full of sharp objects at that time, the chance of accidents increases. Countless people have told stories of cutting themselves or suffering mishaps with knives or scissors in Ghost Month, taking it as proof of the elders' warnings. In traditional worship, knives and scissors are also considered clashing objects. They're never placed on an altar or near sacred spaces, as that would be seen as disrespectful and disruptive. That's why many families wrap up their knives and scissors and store them away neatly, especially during Ghost Month. Instead of buying knives and scissors this month, the elders taught that we should focus on cutting off bad habits, trimming away negative karma, and sharpening our own virtues, rather than wielding sharp blades outside. The sharpest knife, after all, is the discipline of the mind, carving away anger and selfishness. As the Buddha's teachings remind us, to conquer 1,000 enemies in battle is nothing compared to conquering oneself. Self-mastery is the greatest victory of all. A Buddhist friend in Hanoi once shared his own lesson. He never believed in superstitions. He would buy knives or scissors whenever he needed, even in Ghost Month. But then one year, his wife accidentally dropped a knife on her foot during this month, causing a serious injury. Reflecting on it, he admitted, "The old advice from our elders wasn't about fear. It was about mindfulness, living carefully, and respecting unseen forces." From then on, whenever Ghost Month arrived, he refused to buy sharp tools. Instead, he spent that time visiting temples, chanting sutras, and doing acts of charity. And in return, he felt a deeper sense of peace in his heart. Have you ever heard your parents or grandparents warn you not to buy knives or scissors in Ghost Month? Do you think their words carried the wisdom of experience? Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. May all beings let go of hatred, keep compassion alive, and turn Ghost Month from a season of fear into a season of kindness and virtue. Now stay tuned, because next we'll reveal the third forbidden purchase in Ghost Month. It might look like beautiful jewelry, but it could quietly carry misfortune right into your life. The third forbidden purchase in Ghost Month. Jewelry and feng shui stones of unknown origin. Today, it's common for people to love wearing jewelry or buying feng shui stones, bracelets, rings, necklaces, crystals, amber, hoping they'll attract wealth or good luck. But our elders always warned, Ghost Month is absolutely the wrong time to buy these items, especially if you don't know where they came from. Why? Because they can carry unstable energy, and that could bring misfortune into your life. Jewelry and gemstones are believed to absorb and store energy. The old belief is that every stone, every piece of jewelry, is like a container for the energy of whoever owned it before, or even the miner or craftsman who handled it. If you buy something with an unclear past, especially an item once owned by the deceased or mined from dark, heavy places, negative energy can cling to it, and it may affect the person who wears it. During Ghost Month, when spirits are said to be released back into the human world, the connection between objects and souls becomes even more sensitive. A bracelet that seems harmless could become a bridge for restless energy to reach you. That's why the elders used to say, in the 7th month, don't buy stones or gems, or you might bring spirits home with you. There's a story from Ho Chi Minh City. A woman, let's call her H, saw a shop offering big discounts on crystals during Ghost Month. She bought herself an amethyst bracelet. Within days, she suffered nightmares, sleep paralysis, and the eerie sense that someone was standing next to her bed. Her family began quarreling, and her business deals fell apart. Terrified, she went to the temple, where a monk advised her to remove the bracelet and offer prayers to transfer its energy. Sure enough, once she let go of the bracelet, focused on chanting, and devoted herself to good deeds, peace gradually returned to her life. From the perspective of karma, this is easy to explain. When you chase after cheap jewelry or feng shui stones of unknown origin, that's a form of greed. And when greed arises, you naturally open the door to bad conditions. In Ghost Month, instead of buying stones for luck, the Buddha taught us to cultivate virtue, to practice compassion, generosity, discipline, and charity. These wholesome seeds are the only true sources of blessings. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha once said, "A greedy person never knows satisfaction. Even in heaven, they would not be content." So no piece of jewelry, no crystal, can bring real fortune if your heart is restless and clinging. On the other hand, gratitude, compassion, and letting go, these are the real jewels, shining far brighter than anything you can wear. In folk wisdom, there's a saying, "True gems preserve virtue, false gems bring misfortune." This isn't just about the material quality. It points to the spiritual energy behind every item. And in Ghost Month, a time already associated with unease, extra caution is essential. Instead of buying jewelry or stones this month, you could use that money for acts of kindness. Buy food for the poor, release fish or birds back to freedom, or donate Buddhist scriptures to temples. The merit from such actions becomes a real protective charm, far stronger than any bracelet or necklace. Have you ever bought jewelry or gemstones during Ghost Month and then experienced something strange? Do you believe these items can carry the energy of previous owners? Share your story. Your experience could help others reflect and stay safe. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva. May all beings learn to let go of greed, keep their hearts clear and bright, and avoid the hidden consequences of clinging to such things. Now, stay tuned, because next we'll reveal the fourth forbidden purchase in Ghost Month. It may seem like an ordinary household item, but it can actually become a doorway for dark forces to enter. The fourth forbidden purchase in Ghost Month. Old mirrors or second-hand mirrors. For centuries, mirrors have carried a sense of mystery. In feng shui, they can reflect light and open up a room, but they're also said to attract and hold invisible energies. And that's why the elders always warned, in Ghost Month, never buy old mirrors. Never bring strange mirrors into your home. This isn't just superstition. It has deep roots. Yes, mirrors reflect what we can see. But in folk belief, they can also reflect what we cannot see. Shadows, spirits, lingering presences. An old mirror that once hung in a dark place or belonged to someone who has passed away may still carry that heavy energy. And if you bring it into your home during Ghost Month, when wandering souls are said to return, it's like opening a doorway for unwanted forces. There's a story from Bac Ninh province in northern Vietnam. A poor family bought an antique mirror at a bargain price, thinking it would brighten their small room. But from the very first night, their young daughter screamed in terror, saying she saw a strange woman inside the mirror, staring back at her. At first, the mother dismissed it as a bad dream. But when the same thing happened night after night, the whole family grew terrified. Finally, they brought the mirror to a temple. The monk explained, "A mirror can act like a gateway, especially when you don't know where it came from. Bringing it home in Ghost Month only makes the risk greater." After discarding the mirror and offering prayers, the family gradually found peace again. From a Buddhist perspective, this makes sense. The Buddha taught that everything arises from conditions. If an object like a mirror once had ties to dark realms, that energy can linger. By bringing it into your home, you form a new connection with that realm. An unwholesome cause naturally leads to an unwholesome result. Even from a psychological angle, mirrors at night can unsettle anyone, especially in dim light. During Ghost Month, when people are already uneasy because of cultural beliefs, having a strange second-hand mirror in the room can easily trigger nightmares, fear, and anxiety. That's one way to explain why so many haunted mirror stories exist. In spiritual practice, mirrors are never placed on altars or sacred spaces. They're considered disrespectful. Buying and displaying old mirrors in Ghost Month is viewed as planting a negative seed, inviting disorder into the household. Instead, if you truly need a mirror, choose a new one, clear, bright, symbolizing purity. Or better yet, wait until after Ghost Month to buy one just to be safe. More importantly, remember to look into the mirror of your own heart. Keep your mind pure, do good deeds, and build virtue. As the Dhammapada says, the wise shape their minds, steady and true, like a skilled carver, straightens an arrow. Have you ever heard ghost stories about haunted mirrors? Do you believe an old mirror can carry heavy, dark energy? Share your thoughts. Let's reflect on this together. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. May we all learn to look inward, keeping our hearts bright so that no harmful energy can disturb us. Now, stay tuned, because next we'll reveal the fifth and final forbidden item of Ghost Month. This one, more than any other, is said to drain a family's fortune and invite ruin if you're not careful. The fifth forbidden purchase in Ghost Month: old altars and used offering items. In Vietnamese tradition, an altar and offering items are considered sacred. They're the bridge between us, our ancestors, the deities, and the Buddhas. It's where families place their reverence and prayers for peace. That's why elders have always said, in Ghost Month, never buy a second-hand altar, never bring home used offering items. This isn't meant to scare. It's wisdom passed down to protect families. An altar carries the spiritual imprint of the household it belongs to. When a family sells theirs, it's usually because of misfortune, business failure, family discord, or tragedy. That energy lingers in the objects. If someone else brings it home, especially in Ghost Month, when unseen spirits are most active, it's like importing another family's unresolved karma into your own home. There's a story often told in southern Vietnam. A family, trying to save money, bought a used altar in Ghost Month. From that day on, strange things happened. Rice jars spilled on their own. Incense smoldered strangely. And at night they heard knocks and footsteps. Arguments grew. Money slipped away, and harmony vanished. When they finally invited a monk to investigate, he explained, the altar had belonged to a family struck by repeated misfortunes, including the early deaths of children. Because no cleansing rites were performed, the altar's energy carried over. In Ghost Month, that unsettled energy latched onto the new home. Only after the family sincerely repented and held purification ceremonies did peace slowly return. From a Buddhist view, the lesson is clear. An altar and offering objects must come from pure, respectful intention. If you buy second-hand out of greed, your heart is already clouded. That impure seed leads to unrest. But if you establish a new altar with reverence, or keep your offerings clean and sincere, the energy invites blessings and protection. The Ulambana Sutra, the scripture of Ghost Month, reminds us, offerings don't gain their power from how fancy or expensive they are, but from the sincerity of heart. A single incense stick or a simple bowl of rice given with true devotion generates immeasurable merit. But a grand altar without sincerity produces nothing. That's why people say, reverence brings blessings, caution keeps peace. Avoiding old altars or used offering items in Ghost Month is a way to respect the sacred and remind ourselves not to let greed distort the meaning of worship. Instead of buying a used altar, this is the time to clean and refresh your current one. Wipe it down, replace incense holders, bring fresh flowers and fruit. Most of all, keep your heart in the spirit of filial piety. Remember your parents and ancestors. That's what truly sustains family blessings. Have you ever seen someone bring home a used altar or offering set only to run into misfortune? Do you believe objects can carry the unresolved energy of their former owners? Share your experience. Your story might help someone else avoid the same mistake. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May all beings keep their hearts pure, honoring ancestors with sincerity, so their families may live in peace and happiness. If you found this teaching helpful, please like and subscribe. It gives us the encouragement to keep sharing more Dharma wisdom. And stay tuned, because next we'll reflect on the deeper karmic lessons hidden in these 5 taboos, and how to transform misfortune into blessings during Ghost Month. Second, purify the objects. If you've brought home used clothing, wash it thoroughly, dry it under the sun, and while doing so, recite the Great Compassion Mantra, or softly chant Namo Amitabha Buddha to cleanse its energy. Knives, scissors, or old mirrors can be rinsed with salt water, placed in an open space, then offered incense, while praying for the Buddha's blessing. But when it comes to an old altar or used offering items, it's best not to keep them at all. Bring them to a temple, ask the monks to perform a purification rite, and then set up a new altar with a sincere heart. Third, do good deeds to transform karma. This is the most important step. The Buddha taught, if you want to end old karma, create new merit. So if you've accidentally brought home something taboo, balance it with acts of kindness. Release captive animals, donate to the poor, print sutras for temples, or simply help someone in need. That merit can dissolve negative karma and restore peace. Fourth, practice filial piety during Vulan season. The 7th lunar month is also the season of gratitude to parents and ancestors. One of the most powerful ways to counter misfortune is to dedicate your heart to honoring your family. Whether your parents are alive or have passed on, offer sincere prayers, perform good deeds, and dedicate the merit to them. That's the greatest protective blessing a family can receive. There's even a true story from Hai Duong. A family once bought a used altar in Ghost Month. After hearing a monk's teaching, they decided to return the altar to the temple and, at the same time, sponsored the printing of 100 copies of the Dhammapada for distribution. From then on, their business improved, and their children thrived in school. The husband later admitted, it wasn't the old altar that brought misfortune. It was our own greed that created bad karma. Through repentance and good deeds, that karma was transformed. The core lesson is this: everything begins in the mind. If your heart is fearful and restless, negative energy finds a way in. But if your heart is calm, pure and kind, then even if you've made a mistake, blessings will still protect you. Have you ever accidentally bought something taboo during Ghost Month? How did you try to resolve it? Share your experience. Your story might help someone else find peace. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. May all beings learn to let go, practice sincerely, and transform misfortune into new opportunities for good. Now, moving forward. After learning what not to do and how to fix things if we slip, the next question is, what should we actively do in Ghost Month to build blessings, dissolve misfortune, and keep our homes safe? Our elders and the Buddha both gave the same answer. It's not enough to avoid harm. We must also plant good seeds. First, make offerings to wandering spirits. That's why Ghost Month is sometimes called the opening of the gates. Many families prepare outdoor offerings, bowls of thin rice porridge, popcorn, fruit, candy. The purpose? To feed wandering spirits with compassion. In Buddhism, this is true generosity, easing the suffering of those without refuge. And when you give, you not only relieve others' pain, you accumulate merit for yourself. Second, care for your parents. Ghost Month is also Vulan, the month of filial piety. The Buddha said, filial devotion is the root of all virtue. Spend time with your parents, cook a meal, offer kind words, or simply show love. If your parents have passed, light incense and dedicate your good deeds to them. This is the highest form of blessing for a household. Third, eat vegetarian meals, chant sutras, and recite the Buddha's name. Eating vegetarian purifies body and mind and reduces killing. Reciting the Ulambana Sutra, the Ksitigarbha Sutra, or simply chanting Namo Amitabha Buddha daily fills the month with peaceful energy. The sound of the Buddha's name is like a cool stream, washing away fear and anchoring us in faith. Fourth, help those in need. The Buddha taught, generosity is the foundation of merit. In Ghost Month, give rice to the hungry, lend a hand to someone struggling, or share even a little kindness. Each act of generosity is like lighting a lamp in the dark. It dissolves misfortune and opens the door to blessings. Fifth, keep your mind calm. Avoid anger, greed, and harm. Ghost Month is seen as a restless time. But if you stay peaceful, avoid arguments, and let go of negativity, harmful energy cannot touch you. A story proves this point. A Buddhist man in Hanam made it a yearly tradition. During Ghost Month, he ate vegetarian meals for 3 days, recited sutras, and donated rice to the poor. Before that, his family was always in conflict. But once he began, peace returned to the home, business improved, and his children excelled. He explained, "Doing good in Ghost Month is like lighting a lamp in the night. It shines for me and for others." Through the Buddha's lens, Ghost Month is not a season of fear, but of compassion, gratitude, and awareness. If we practice this way, the 7th lunar month becomes a time of blessing, not dread. What do you usually do during Ghost Month? Have you ever joined a hungry ghost offering or donated to those in need? Share your story. Together we can spread kindness. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamoudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May all beings in this Ghost Month practice goodness, honor their parents, and transform misfortune into peace. Stay tuned, because next we're diving into the things you absolutely must not do during Ghost Month. Why? Because even a small, careless act could unintentionally offend wandering spirits and bring misfortune on yourself and your family. Alongside the good deeds we should practice, Ghost Month also comes with a set of strict taboos passed down through folk wisdom and reinforced by Buddhist teachings. These aren't meant to scare you, but to remind us to stay cautious. First, don't go out late at night or wander in deserted places. Folklore says that once the gates of the underworld open, spirits roam most freely after dark. If you walk through lonely streets, cemeteries, or crossroads at night, spirits may follow you home, leaving your mind restless or even making you sick. From a Buddhist view, this is about protecting both body and mind, avoiding situations that stir up fear and bad karma. Second, don't call someone's name at midnight. Elders warn that calling a person's name late at night might confuse a spirit, who enters by following the sound. During Ghost Month, this is especially risky. If you need to get someone's attention, approach them gently, or use affectionate nicknames instead. Third, don't hang wind chimes above your bed. Wind chimes may sound pleasant by day, but at night their tones are believed to invite wandering souls. With yin energy so strong in Ghost Month, a tinkling chime in the dark can act like an open invitation. Fourth, don't leave clothes outside to dry overnight. It's said that restless spirits can cling to fabric. On a practical level, damp night air breeds bacteria and mildew. Wearing clothes left out overnight can harm both body and spirit. Fifth, don't linger under big old trees or near lakes and ponds after dark. Such places are thought to gather heavy yin energy. Sensitive people often report chills, unease, or even sudden accidents when loitering there in Ghost Month. Sixth, don't tap someone on the shoulder or try to startle them. People are already more sensitive during this time. A sudden scare doesn't just shock them, it's said to weaken their protective energy, creating openings for negativity. Seventh, don't pick up money or valuables off the street. In folk belief, Offerings of coins or paper money left on the ground are meant for spirits. If you take them, it's like stealing from the unseen, and you risk being haunted. Even if it's real money, picking it up during Ghost Month is considered an unwholesome act. There's a story from southern Vietnam. A young man once found a bundle of cash at a crossroads during Ghost Month. Excited, he brought it home. But almost immediately, his life unraveled. Accidents, constant car trouble, failing health. When he told his grandparents, they shook their heads. That was ghost money. You should have left it alone. From a Buddhist perspective, all these taboos have a common thread. They remind us to keep a steady mind, reduce greed, anger, and ignorance, and avoid harming ourselves or others. The Buddha said, "By oneself is evil done, by oneself is one defiled, by oneself is evil left undone, by oneself is one purified." In other words, staying mindful and not breaking these taboos is already planting seeds of virtue. Have you ever broken one of these Ghost Month rules by accident? Did anything unusual happen afterward? Share your story, because when we learn from each other, the whole community grows wiser. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. May we all stay mindful and careful, so that Ghost Month becomes a chance for spiritual practice and blessing, not a season of fear. Now, in the next part, we'll explore why Ghost Month is also known as Vu Lan, the great festival of filial piety, and uncover the deep meaning of the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. The 7th month in the lunar calendar, besides being called Ghost Month, is also deeply sacred under another name, Vu Lan, the month of filial piety. This is the season when children remember and honor the immense kindness of their parents and ancestors. If Ghost Month stirs fear of taboos, then Vu Lan uplifts us with gratitude, reminding us to live with devotion and appreciation, the very roots of all blessings. In the Ulambana Sutra, the Buddha told a powerful story about his disciple Maudgalyayana, known in Vietnamese as Muk Kien Lien, one of the most spiritually gifted of all his followers. After attaining enlightenment, he used his divine eye to look for his mother. What he saw broke his heart. She had fallen into the realm of hungry ghosts, her belly swollen, her throat thin as a needle, starving and in torment. Out of love, he offered her a bowl of rice, but the food instantly turned into burning coals. She could not eat. Desperate, he turned to the Buddha for guidance. The Buddha explained, to truly save his mother, he could not rely on his own power alone. He needed the collective merit and prayers of the entire monastic community. And the most powerful time to do this was on the full moon of the 7th lunar month, when the summer retreat of the monks ends, and their discipline and purity are at their strongest. Through their blessings, parents from many lifetimes could be liberated. From this teaching, the 15th day of the 7th lunar month became the festival of Vu Lan, the great Buddhist day of filial piety. On this day, children express gratitude by making offerings, doing good deeds, and dedicating merit not only to their living parents, but also to ancestors and departed loved ones across generations. In Vietnam, Vu Lan has become a beautiful cultural tradition. On this day, temples hold the rose ceremony. Those with living parents wear a red rose. Those who have lost their parents wear a white rose. That small flower is a powerful reminder. To still have parents by your side is the greatest blessing, and the highest duty of a child is to honor and care for them. Vu Lan also connects with another tradition, pardoning the dead. It is said that the gates of the underworld open, allowing offerings to be made to wandering, hungry spirits who have no family to care for them. Thus, the full moon of the 7th month is not only about honoring your own parents, but also about extending compassion to all beings. This is the deep, humanistic spirit that Buddhism has woven into Vietnamese culture. Here's a story many Buddhists like to share. A man had been so caught up in making money that he neglected his aging parents for years. One day, after hearing a teaching on the Ulambana Sutra, his heart was stirred. He returned home, began caring for his parents, and made time for them. When they later passed away, he continued to make offerings and chant sutras in their memory. From then on, his family grew more harmonious, and his business flourished. He realized that filial devotion was the greatest blessing of all, beyond wealth, beyond success. Under the light of the Buddha's teaching, Vulan is a mirror for each of us. Have we truly honored our parents? Have we remembered our ancestors and the debt of gratitude we owe them? The Buddha once said, "The debt we owe our parents is as high as the mountains and as deep as the ocean." One who does not repay that debt, even if they achieve great spiritual power, will never be complete. So I ask you, do you still have your parents with you to love and care for? Or are they already gone, remembered only in prayers? Have you ever worn the red rose or the white rose during Vulan? Share your story, so that together we can remind each other of the sacred duty of filial piety. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamaudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May all beings this 7th month keep filial devotion alive, so that Ghost Month is no longer a time of fear, but a season of gratitude, virtue, and blessings fulfilled. Now, stay tuned, because in the next section, we'll look at simple, practical ways anyone can practice filial piety during Vulan. Whether rich or poor, every child can honor their parents in meaningful ways. Filial devotion is not some lofty ideal reserved for the wealthy. It doesn't take riches or status. It takes sincerity. During Vulan, every child can practice filial piety through small but heartfelt acts of love. The Buddha taught, caring for your parents is the highest merit one can earn in this lifetime. So let's break down some specific ways we can live this teaching. First, care for your parents while they're alive. If you're lucky enough to still have your parents by your side, spend time with them. Share a warm meal. Ask how they're doing. Give them a hug. That, more than money, is what they truly want. Second, speak words of love and gratitude. In today's busy world, many of us hesitate to express our feelings. But a simple, heartfelt, "I love you," or "thank you for everything," can warm the heart of an aging parent more than gold ever could. Vulan is the perfect time to say the words you may have held back. Don't wait until it's too late. Third, do good deeds and dedicate the merit to your parents. If your parents are still alive, your good actions create blessings for the whole family. If they've passed, dedicating your merit helps them find peace and even liberation. Filial piety transcends time and space. It's love that reaches across lifetimes. Fourth, make offerings to the triple gem during Vulan. The Buddha taught, offering to the Sangha on the full moon of the 7th month brings immeasurable merit. It can even release 7 generations of your parents from suffering. That's why many people choose this time to sincerely give offerings to monks and temples. The blessings don't just uplift your living parents, but also help generations of ancestors find liberation. Fifth, live a pure life and avoid creating new negative karma. Sometimes honoring your parents isn't about money or material gifts. It's about living a good life, free from harm, so they don't have to worry. A child who is kind, ethical, and stays away from trouble, that's one of the most meaningful forms of filial piety. There's a story from Bak Jang, A young man grew up in a poor family. His parents worked tirelessly to raise him. When he became an adult, he didn't have much money, but he always tried to live honestly and worked hard. From time to time, he'd bring his parents small gifts, fruit, cakes, simple things. Every Vulan season, he would take them to the temple to chant the Ulambana Sutra together. He once said, "I may not be rich, but I want my parents to be happy because they raised a son who knows how to honor them." And indeed, his parents were prouder of him than they would have been of any wealth. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha taught, whoever cares for their parents in this life gains great blessings, praised even by the heavenly beings. So filial piety isn't just a child's duty, it's a source of deep merit that extends into the unseen world. What about you? Have you ever done something special for your parents during Vulan? Do you believe filial piety begins with big gestures or with the small acts of love we practice every day? Share your thoughts. Your story could inspire others. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May all beings nurture the spirit of filial devotion so that parents in this life may be joyful and parents across lifetimes may be freed. Now, dear friends, let's move to the final part of this journey. We've explored Ghost Month from every angle, its taboos, its remedies, its meaning. But at the heart of it all, the 7th lunar month is both a sacred time of remembrance and a reminder of responsibility. Throughout the 12 sections, we've learned about 5 things you should absolutely avoid buying during Ghost Month: old clothes or second-hand items, sharp objects like knives or scissors, jewelry or crystals with unclear origins, old mirrors, used altars or ritual objects. Each carries deep symbolic meaning. It's not that these items themselves are cursed. The real danger lies in carelessness, greed, or ignorance, our own states of mind that invite trouble. Buddhism teaches, all phenomena arise from the mind. If your mind is restless, everything around you becomes restless. If your mind is clear and aware, you can remain safe even in the so-called Ghost Month. We also looked at ways to transform bad karma, repentance, cleansing objects, doing good deeds, chanting, and dedicating merit. We learned what to practice positively, making food offerings to wandering spirits, honoring parents, eating vegetarian meals, reciting sutras, helping the poor, and keeping a calm heart. And we remembered what to avoid: staying out late, picking up random money on the street, hanging wind chimes above the bed, or leaving clothes out overnight. Most importantly, we reflected on the sacred meaning of Vulan, the full moon of the 7th month. It's not just Ghost Month. It's the season of filial piety, a time to honor parents and ancestors, to care for them while alive, and to dedicate merit when they've passed. Filial devotion isn't only duty. It is the root of blessings for every family. So what's the lesson? Keep your mind pure, plant good seeds, and live with gratitude. Don't chase after bargains at the cost of your peace. Don't invite sharpness or darkness into your home. Instead, choose kindness, compassion, and simple acts of love. That way, Ghost Month won't be a month of fear, but a month of blessing, of remembering, and of deep compassion. Dear friends, if you've watched until now, you've gained not just knowledge of taboos, but also wisdom about karma and transformation. I sincerely wish each of your families peace, harmony, and abundant blessings. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Mahamudgalyayana Bodhisattva. May your hearts always be at ease, your families safe, and your lives filled with good fortune. Don't forget, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you won't miss future teachings. And we'll see you again in the next meaningful topic.